Would you believe me if I told you that this was a working version of the Ace Combat 7 demo? Would you rather believe me if I said this was the work of one man and his desire to produce such a game that is like Ace Combat? Well, the answer is that the latter one is a correct answer, because this is the work of one man, unaffiliated with Bandai Namco or Ace Combat 7, that has took it upon himself to make a game that is like it. This is Project Wingman. This game is a Kickstarter project by a developer called RD2, at least that's his Twitter handle. I don't know what his actual name is, I'm not in physical or any contact with him. He started this with a $35,000 goal in mind, but now they have thrashed that and are really moving on. It's going nearly to $70,000 just for this game. With the layout and everything, you can see why the resemblance is made with this in comparison with Ace Combat 7. Such examples is the weapon slot system, the aircrafts, the storyline, which is made in a fictional country, etc. and so forth. Nevertheless, some critics has been rather harsh with this title, and I figure I jump in on their bandwagon and give my point of view. First off, I'd just like to emphasize how glad I am someone has created another game of this genre. Ace Combat 7 Assault Horizon, the first release for PC, was a disaster. It was set in the real world, it didn't really have the core competencies of the Ace Combat series, which is the fictional country known as Strangereal, or the fictional universe Strangereal, and you had all the Yugoslavia nations, the Osea and all that, Osea Federation, Erusia, the Balkan Wars. Each title story made you interested in the game. Each Ace Combat game gave you that special, unique feel. The story, the gameplay, the emotions between both the sides. It made you want to learn more about the game, and thus is why, after about a decade of downtime from Ace Combat 6, that Bandai Namco and the team finally get working on Ace Combat 7, and they had the whole entire world shook when it was revealed at E3. The only other similar game that is sort of like Ace Combat and this sort of air-to-air combat sort of game is called Vertical Strike on Steam. And to be honest, it's reminiscent of the PSP release titles because, well, it doesn't really have high-tier graphics, it's mostly 2D polygons and all that, but it was still a satisfying game. It still was an Ace Combat-like game, which is why so many people bought it. But they really didn't have much attention, and they only released it in 2017, in April. Yet the only people that gave a review for it, on Steam right now, is 89. However, the game's major flaw is that it's more of an endless mode. It didn't really have a campaign or scenarios that would give the extra added effect of an Ace Combat game. One of the major points critics use to judge Project Wingman is by its story. Its current non-existent story, except for the playable demo that we have been exposed to. How the hell are you going to compare a rich storyline of Ace Combat 7 and use it to compare with a game that has just started production? That is not fair, that is bias. That's not a fair review. What instead we should be focusing on is the core gameplay itself, graphics, and the general feel, which I am very happy to give you my experience of it. The gameplay is made on Unreal Engine, it runs at 60 smooth FPS depending on your computer's graphics settings, and, well, it is as closest as to an Ace Combat game that I have seen in, well, ever. Other combat games such as DCS World, which is, you know, it provides you with a realistic simulation experience of flying a jet, but it doesn't really have a core competency. Like, maybe the core competency for that game is the realisticity of the jet's cockpits and the availability of choice to you and to control your aircraft and so forth. But the entire point of Ace Combat games is it's fiction. That's why the people are drawn into it, to the story, to some of the crazy sort of things that the nations make, like airships, fucking gigantic nuclear submarines that can submerge underwater, that can take planes and deploy them. No real country is going to be able to do that, is not going to be able to top that, actually. So Project Wingman very much fits in the aspect of fiction, because within the first few minutes of this gameplay, you saw that they had this huge, gigantic, tiny ships that you'd probably see in other Ace Combat games. Secondly, I'd like to talk about the weapons and arsenal that's available to you. Like you'd expect, it's very similar to Ace Combat's sort of varied arsenal, such as you've got multi-lock air missiles, multi-lock ground missiles, semi-lock air missiles, standard missile, which is like your go-to to fire at close targets, which give you an absurd amount of around 100. Controls are relatively easy to get a hang of, especially if you play Ace Combat, and the general feel and the smoothness of the game, it really makes me reminiscent of the time when I played an Ace Combat game, which was fucking ages ago, because I only had a PSP back then. I didn't really have a PS2, PS3, and Xbox. One thing I'd like to address about the other reviews I've heard is how people say this game is plagiarizing and copying Ace Combat 7. And what I like to say to that is, what the fuck are you saying, you dumb fucking whore? I don't think Bandai Namco put a fucking copyright on dogfighting, not the last time I checked. Seems to me the more hardcore Ace Combat fans are rather scared of this being replacing Ace Combat 7, which, if you think about it, it won't fucking happen, first of all. Some Ace Combat fans would rather this game fail than to be a competitor to Ace Combat. Well, first of all, I'd like to let you know that this market, this genre, this niche market of gaming is not saturated, it's niche. There's only about 2 games that is about this that's decent and people play. So you can... Another thing is, I mentioned that this was all created by one man with a dream, and, well, had the money he needed because it was fulfilled by the community that supported this game. Whereas Bandai Namco probably has about 200, 300 people working on this game right now, probably trying to get it to the deadline, because if you remember, it was initially it was said it was going to release Ace Combat 7 in autumn 2018, but now at the latest E3 they're saying now it's going to be a 2019 release, which, to be frankly, is not good enough. Project Wingman only has the developer named Abi Rahmani working on it. He's a guy who makes all the gameplay stuff. He has a voice actor manager that sorts out all the voice acting for the game, and a composer that makes music for the game, and yet they've managed to produce a working demo in, right now. You can go play this right now. You go on their Kickstarter page, you can download the demo, you can play yourself. What they are doing right now is, what the progress they're making, it's better than Ace Combat 7. It shows that the Ace Combat 7 is not working hard enough, doesn't have the motivation to make it a good game, but the producer for this, Project Wingman, does. And he does want to succeed, and if you want to fund the game, you can do it now, because basically it closes on the 3rd of July, and I don't know how Kickstarter works, and I don't know if you can donate after that date. But if you decide to donate to this game, you will, for $25 Australian dollars, which is around 14 quid or $19, you get the full game on release, just like that. And you know what? That is probably going to be a fraction of the price of when Ace Combat 7 comes out, and it's going to be priced at like 50 quid or $60 or something like that. So you know what? It's your choice. I like this game. You should probably like it too. Done's done. They have a Discord if you want to support them or give them ideas, and well, just want to chat with the community, that's also fine. That's fine by me. I'll be on there sometimes, not all the time. I'm afraid that's all I have to say about the game for now, but if you'd like to finish watching this video at the end of this mission, you're more than welcome to. I'd love to hear some of your opinions as well, but just so you know that if you post something, I probably won't reply to you for about a month because I'm going on holiday and I plan to release this video before I do that.